I'm in Colorado, in the general vicinity of Denver, Estes Park, all that. We're beautiful mountains, and I just had a strange encounter. I was camping way up high, up above 10,000 feet, and it started raining. I'm exhausted. It started raining, and my tent had a zipper problem, which I knew about, but hadn't fixed. And the inside of my tent got wet, and my sleeping bag got wet, and I had to. There's just no way I could stay there a second night because it gets cold. It was already 50 degrees up there, and it was like 5:30 in the afternoon, 6. So I left. I packed up everything, wet tent, the wet sleeping bag, all of that, wet me, and drove down the dirt road, the long, like 5 or 6 mile rutted dirt road that nobody lives along, I don't think. Maybe 1 or 2 houses to get to the main road. And after I'd gone about a mile, it was cold and wet. It wasn't raining, but I saw a guy walking on the left. He looked emaciated, kind of wearing like sweatpants and I don't know what kind of shoes, and a fleece jacket that looks pretty old and beat up, a plastic bag on his hair, like a deli bag that you'd get deli meats in, and a cap over that. And he stuck his thumb out, and I stopped and said, "Where are you going?" He named some streets. I said, "I don't know where those streets are." And he goes, in this town up there, I'll show you. And so I said, "We'll get in." He's about 50 or 60 years old, dark skin, very gentle demeanor. And he's the first hitchhiker I picked up on this trip. And he said, "I can ride in the back, I'm all muddy. I fell in the mud." I said, "No, just get in so you can sit." I wasn't really thinking. So he got in. He didn't smell so great. And I realized when he got in, oh, wait, the virus. What about the virus? But it's too late. The guy needed a ride. It was cold and wet. I mean, I don't know. Anyone would have done the same. Maybe not. Maybe not. I said, "Do you mind if I film? Do you mind if I film our conversation? I'm a writer and I'm taking videos, traveling around the country." And he looked at me like, "No, I'd rather that you didn't. I'd rather that you didn't." I said, "Okay, it's up to you." And I turned my phone over, upside down. We drove a little bit, and I said, "What's your name?" I said, "This is a long walk to town that you're taking. You would have just walked it?" And he goes, "Yep." And then I was wondering, did he just come out of the woods? Like, is he like a Unabomber type guy living in a shack up in the woods and nobody knows it? There's obviously something secretive about him. And I said, "What's your name? What's your name?" "My name's, and he goes, "Sonny." And I said, "Nice to meet you, Sonny. My name's Steven." He goes, "No, they call me Sunshine." I said, "Sunshine? You must have done something to deserve that name." And he just kind of smiled at me. He was kind of hunched over. He had trouble figuring out how to buckle his seatbelt. He put his plastic bag of whatever he was carrying on the floor. And I waited a minute. He didn't say anything. And I said, "So what's your story, Sunshine?" I said, "What's your story, Sunshine? Are you from Colorado?" And goes very quiet. He was already quiet, but you know how he just like shut down. And he said, "Sir, I would rather refrain from speaking any further at this time." And I said, "Okay, we can refrain from speaking further." I didn't say that, but I thought, okay, we can do that. And we drove another 8 miles in total silence. When we got to the town he wanted to go to, I said, is this where I should drop you off? And he said, yeah. And I pulled over into a little parking area. He gave me a big smile and reached over and shook my hand. And this is when I realized I did shake his hand, and I realized I could have offered him a mask. I have a box of masks, and I wasn't wearing a mask myself. So neither of us wore a mask. I did drive with the window open. But what stupidity, what world am I living in that I would not have put on a mask and insisted he wear a mask? Or better yet, said yes when he said he wanted to ride in the truck. I felt like it felt rude to have him ride in the back of the truck on this cold, wet road. So, the back of the truck's full of water and shit. Excuse my language. But he got out and he walked away. I took a little picture of him walking away. I didn't want to violate his privacy, so I took a picture of his back. And I sat there for a few minutes thinking about where to go next, because I need to find a hotel, a place to stay. And I saw in my rearview mirror this truck pull up. This weird vehicle, like an old repurposed army vehicle that had a big red star painted on the side and a green canvas roof. A strange car, the kind of car you'd only see in the mountains, in the rural mountains. And he started talking to that guy, and they talked. I sat there, and they talked for 3 or 4 minutes, and then I pulled away. And that's when I realized we weren't very far from the town that my family lived in when I was born, Central City, Colorado. And I've been refraining from going to that town because I haven't wanted to think about my mother. For various reasons, I just haven't wanted to process my feelings about her and my relationship with her as a kid. So I figured I just wouldn't even go there. And it's not a very interesting town anyway. But then I remembered, so this guy was named Sunshine, and he was walking on a road in the middle of nowhere on a cold, wet, rainy night. I drove by and picked him up, and his name is Sunshine. And my mother, when I was a little kid, if I was in a bad mood, if I was looking grim or glum or woke up on the wrong side of the bed, she would go, "Good morning, little Miss Sunshine," in the most sarcastic voice she could muster, which was she was pretty good at it. Anytime I was in a bad mood, she'd call me Little Miss Sunshine. And here was Sunshine sitting in my car. What the hell does that mean? I have no idea. No idea at all. If you know, please tell me. Ah, Sunshine.